go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and when they go out, it will be race time in Australia! JB Lou, he's not giving enough that easily! Oh, it's done it! What happened? What is another field? What is another field? I know! It's not enough! Anthony Waddington wins! They're going one way! And Anthony Waddington is the lead! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first ever Xtreme Racing League Awards ceremony. We had an action-packed first season, and there's a lot to reflect on tonight. Everything from the epic season opener in Australia to the Xtreme 2 League making its debut in Canada, all the way to the title showdown in Mexico for the Xtreme 1. All around, it has been a season to remember, especially since we partnered with the Talk of the Devil Racing League at the end of last season. And since then, we have continued to grow and expand, and there's more on that later in the show. But for now, I just want to say a big thank you to the boss of the Xtreme Racing League, Cesar Lopez, for giving me the opportunity to be part of such an amazing league. And with the new season just around the corner, who knows what Season 2 has in store? And now, without further ado, let's get into the awards. Okay. Right, so our first award is going to go to the Team of the Season. Now, it's been the Team of the Season. We are starting with the Xtreme 1 awards, and we're starting off with Team of the Season. It's been an action-packed season. It went all the way to the final race of the season to determine who the Constructors' Champion would be. But as you can see, in third place was Ferrari, second place was Toro Rosso, and in first place with 50% of the votes and our Constructors' Champions for Season 1 of the Xtreme 1 League, Williams. Congratulations to Williams, Team of the Season. Now we are going to head on to the race of the season, and there was a lot to enjoy. There were plenty of races up for contention, but in the end, we managed to narrow it down to just 3. In third place, we had, of course, the chaos of the streets of the Monaco Grand Prix. In second place, we had that epic season opener in Australia. But in first place, what else could it be but the title showdown in Mexico? Congratulations, Mexico, the race of the season. But of course, we can't talk about race of the season without mentioning its Saturday counterpart, the qualifying of the season. Not many award ceremonies acknowledge the qualifying to determine who starts where on the grid. But we do, and here we go. In third place, we've got Michael Booker in Singapore, reaching qualifying 3, which was a very outstanding performance. In second place, we had Anthony Bauer at the US Grand Prix. Fantastic qualifying performance from him. But in first place, with 65% of the votes, it is Philip Nilsson for Williams at Singapore, qualifying on pole by 1.5 seconds, a la to that of Ayrton Senna in Monaco back in 1988. Congratulations, Philip Nilsson, for qualifying of the season. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight on to the next award. It is the Most Improved driver. Now, for this award, we've gone for drivers that have started out this season or had a poor performance in the previous season and have come on leaps and bounds to be incredible championship contenders, potentially Season 2 champions next season. But we'll wait and see how that rolls around. So we had 4 drivers in the running for this. 4th place was Gareth Lambourne. In 3rd place, we had Dean Barry. In 2nd place, Michael Booker. And in 1st place with 42% of the votes, Pete Pellini, the most improved driver of the season. And now, a lot of fans look forward to these sort of moments. The most epic crash of the season. And there were plenty of crashes to enjoy throughout this season, some of which I was a witness for, and they were spectacular. And even that is an understatement. We had 3 contenders for this one. In 3rd place, we had Dean Barry at Spa. In 2nd place, we had Irving Diaz in Azerbaijan. But in 1st place, for those that have seen the race, will know exactly what one we're on about. With 65% of the votes, Ben, Ivan, Willem, and JBL in Brazil. And the crash. And we have got footage of how that epic crash unfolded. Wow, and you can definitely see why that was the crash of the season there. Definitely one of the highlights of the season for me in the commentary box. But going to the polar opposite of what we just saw, we have got the cleanest driver of the season. We had 4 contenders for this one. This is for who either had the best racecraft or just accumulated the least amount of penalties throughout this season. Fourth place, we have Gareth Lambourne. In third place, we had Philip Nilsson. In second place, we had Pete Pellini. And number one, at a massive 61% of the votes, our Extreme One champion, Anthony Waddington. Congratulations to Anthony for being the cleanest driver of the season. And moving swiftly on now to our driver of the season. Now, this one pretty much speaks for itself. Who the voters felt was the best driver of the season, be it through consistent performances or just being a fan favorite. We had three contenders for that. In third place for Williams, it was Pete Pellini. In second place for Racing Point, we had Owen Lewis. And no surprises here, number one with a massive 84% of the vote, our Extreme One champion, Mr. Anthony Waddington. So there you go, Anthony. 2 awards in a row tonight. Congratulations on that. And now we're moving on to our next award, which is the most dedicated member of the Extreme One community. Now, this could cover a whole variety of areas, be it through social media interactivity, promotion, administration work, among others. But we have our most dedicated member winner here. We had a number of contenders here, including the boss himself, Mr. Cesar Lopez. We also had Michael Savage in contention as well. But our top three are, in third place, Irving Diaz, in charge of the statistics and the standings. In second place, JBL, who was in charge of the social media interactivity. And in first place, with 61% of the votes, we have Michael Booker, who was the practice admin responsible for getting the practice sessions organized throughout the week. And that is it for the Extreme One award, but we're not done just yet, folks, because we have got the Extreme One draft right now, and this is where we get to find out who is racing with who next season. So, ladies and gentlemen, your runners and riders for the Extreme One Racing League for Season 2. So there we go. That is the lineup for next season in the Extreme One Racing League. I'm going to be very interested to see how the two Anthonys can work together at Red Bull Racing, with Ant Waddington being our defending champion. It'll be very exciting to see how that rolls around. The only way to find out is to tune in next week for the start of the new season. So now we go into the... yes, and talking of Anthony Waddington, we have prepared a little something for our Xtreme 1 champion.
To see. Waddington won't be close enough. He's run out of corners. He's run out of laps. He's run out of time. But he crosses the line. He still finishes ahead of Owen Lewis. Anthony Waddington is the first ever Xtreme 1 Formula 1 champion of the world.
So there we go. That was the moment that Anthony Waddington secured the Xtreme 1 Drivers' Championship. And I had the pleasure of commentating on that race. And what a race it was. A great recovery drive, a qualifying ban, 20th, all the way up to 2nd. And the rest, as they say, is history. Congratulations once again to Anthony Waddington, our first ever Xtreme 1 Racing League champion. Now it's time to move into the Xtreme 2 awards, and we have a video to showcase what the X2 drivers have been up to throughout this season. Okay. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the intro for the Xtreme 2 Racing League, and credit to Cesar Lopez for creating that intro. And what an amazing intro it is! Just the spotlight on the league. So now let's get straight into the awards. Now we don't have as many awards for the Xtreme 2 as we do for the Xtreme 1, but that doesn't mean the drivers are going to go unacknowledged. Of course, we're going to acknowledge them. So here we go. Let's move into our first award of the season, and that is the cleanest driver of the season. Same deal goes with the cleaner driver of the Xtreme 1 League. So these are the drivers that we had in the running. We had John Singh in the running for cleanest driver, but nobody voted for him, which is a shame. But I'm sure he'll appreciate being in the running regardless. In third place we had Ricard. In second place we had Tom Edwards, and in first place with 50% of the votes, it is Bryce Falconer. Bryce, congratulations on being the cleanest driver of the season. Now we're going to go on to the most improved driver of the season. Now, with a lot of these drivers being reserve drivers for the X1, Caesar took it upon himself to start the X2, starting from the Canadian Grand Prix, and these are the drivers that were in the running. We had John Singh again in the running, but no votes there. But again, he'll appreciate being in the running for the award. In third place, we had Malbert Rogers. In second place, we had Brendan Zarglis. And in first place, with 2/3 of the votes, we had Neil Mate. Neil, congratulations on being the most improved driver of the season. Team of the season now, and we only have three drivers in 3 teams in the running for this, but they've all proven to be worthy contenders in the running for the Constructors' Championship. In third place, we had McLaren. In second place, we had our Xtreme 1 Constructors' Champions, Williams. But with 75% of the votes, and first place, our Xtreme 2 Constructors' Champions, Red Bull Racing. Congratulations, Red Bull, on being Team of the Season. This now leaves us with just one award left for the Xtreme 2 Racing League, and that is the Driver of the Season. Now, we had a lot of highlights from a lot of the drivers. One personal highlight from myself was getting a points finish in Belgium with all the chaos that unfolded. I was really happy with that, but who knows what next season is going to have in store. But nevertheless, here we are. In third place, we had Ken Helbestad. In second place, we had Maxime Pateau. And in first place with 50% of the votes, our Xtreme 2 Drivers' Champion, Rian Fori. Rian, massive congratulations to you on becoming the Driver of the Season. And just like with X1, we have got the draft for the X2 drivers. So the drivers are as follows. We've got Derek Ickmanis and Malbert Rogers for Toro Rosso. We have Johnny Davis and David Edgar for Red Bull. The next team we have is McLaren, and it's Neil Mate and Ricard. Then for Ferrari, we've got Matt Anderson and Michael Savage. And rounding up the top half of the field is Racing Point with Arthur Bowler and Bryce Falconer. Then it's Alfa Romeo next, and we've got Pete Polini and Maxime Pateau. We've got Renault. Renault are Ken Helbestad and CJ Allen. Next is Haas, and we've got Gareth Lambourne and Thomas Edwards. For Mercedes, it is Brendan Zarglis and Kyle Keegan. And last but by no means least, Williams, Jack Smith and John Singh. And those are your runners and riders for Season 2 of the Xtreme 2 Racing League. And the races for that will be live at 8 p.m. UK time. And the Xtreme 1 Racing League will be live at 5 p.m. UK time. But that's not all, folks. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we have been growing and expanding throughout this season, and now we are proud to announce Xtreme 3. Yes, we now have a third division for the Xtreme Racing League, which I'm going to be part of as a racer. But rest assured, you'll still hear me on commentary for Xtreme 1, don't you worry. And the Xtreme 3 races will be at 7 p.m. UK time. So you've got over 5 hours. So you've got about 5 hours of racing action to keep you occupied throughout your Sunday afternoon and evening, depending on where you live in the world. So there we go. That is it for the Xtreme Racing League Awards ceremony. Thanks to everyone who has taken part throughout this season in any capacity, be it commentating, racing, behind the scenes work with the admin team, or just promoting the league through social media. And of course, the biggest thank you of all has to go to the boss for making all this possible, Mr. Cesar Lopez. A massive thanks to him. Without people like him and people like you guys, this would not be possible. So, without further ado, that is it this evening. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and we will see you next week at Albert Park, Australia, for the start of the new season of the Xtreme Racing League. But for now, from me, from all of us here, it's thank you and good night.